Welcome to Amazing Buys, where we discuss shopping, fragrance, and do reviews. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the notification bell, like and subscribe, and let's see what's new at Sephora. Sorry about the brightness, but the sun was shining straight through the store. Mane and Love Shack Fancy has done a collaboration for some cute hair accessories and hair tools. If you are into the pink and fancy bows and flowers, you will love this collaboration. Now let's get into the new fragrances because Summer Fridays has come out with some new body care, and you guys have to try this out. These body mists come in two different sizes, the 3 fluid ounces going for $24 and the 8.1 fluid ounces going for $38. This is in the fresh fragrance family, and the scent type is fresh citrus and fruits. This has notes of guava nectar, pink strawberry, and pear blossom, and is supposed to be juicy, fresh, and fruity, and is supposed to remind you of a tropical getaway with every spray. On the initial spray, believe it or not, it smelled like pink starburst. I love that pink strawberry note in this fragrance. It is so pretty, but you start to pick up that guava once it starts to dry down, which makes it a beautiful scent. Usually I like guava notes because it brings a juicy, tropical, fruity scent to fragrances, but it tends to be a very tropical, fruity, dominating note. In this one, it was a good balance between the guava and the pink strawberry. So I really like this, and I think this will be a very people-pleasing body mist. It looks like so far we are off to a good start. The next one is their vanilla scent, and as you can see from this picture, yes, it smells like cake. This is in the warm and spicy fragrance family with the scent type of warm and sweet gourmands. This has notes of vanilla cake, tonka bean, and fluffy musk. It says it's supposed to be sweet, warm, and dreamy and remind you of your favorite vanilla treat. Now this one, it definitely is giving cake vibes. We've had this DNA plenty of times. It is the warmest out of all three, but it happens to also be the lightest. And this one in particular, the longevity wasn't that great. While this does smell like a fluffy vanilla cake with vanilla icing, I feel like there's better fragrances with this scent DNA that is better and longer lasting. So this one, it was good, it just wasn't great. Up next, which is one of my favorites in the collection, was pistachio milk. Honestly, out of this one and the pink guava one, I don't know which one I loved better. I would say it's a tie, but this is in the warm and spicy fragrance family with the scent type of warm and sweet gourmands. As far as the notes, it has pistachio milk, creamy woods, and raspberry sugar, and it is supposed to be milky, creamy, comforting, and remind you of a sweet pistachio latte. The name pistachio milk is spot on. I love how it has that milky creaminess. It's not overly nutty, it's not overly woody. It is a great balance. I was sniffing my hand all day. This is one of the better pistachio fragrances that I smelled. I highly recommend trying this collection out. They do have matching body butter balms going for $32. At first, I thought it smelled like a generic body butter, but then once it starts to dry down, the notes really start to pop. So I will say that this will elevate the body mist. Right next to it are the lip butter balms, and these are going for $24. The flavors match the rest of the body care except for strawberry soft serves. Summer Fridays did a great job with this collection. Let's move on to Fable and Mane. I don't think I've ever seen this, and it says just arrived, but this is Corolla coconut with notes of coconut water, tiger orchid, and vanilla. This had a sweet, beachy coconut scent with earthy and woody undertones to it. Something about these fragrance mists reminded me of the health food store, if that makes sense, like something you would find there. Next is Madurai Jasmine with notes of jasmine sambac, red champaka, and sandalwood. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing anything. You're mainly getting jasmine and sandalwood from that one. And the last is Jaipur Rose with notes of saffron, rose, and black amber. I like that black amber in there because it's a different type of ambery scent, but overall you get an airy saffron and a light rose. Let's get to Sol de Janeiro's new Charosa 7 and 10. These are part of their new men collection, and they're going for $26. This has notes of lavender, macadamia nut, and vanilla woods. I feel like I can detect all three of these notes, but the mixture of them is giving it an earthy, woody undertone that I'm not really a fan of. Let's check out Charosa 10. This one was noticeably brighter than number 7. This has notes of cardamom, Brazilian, pineapple, and cedarwood. I feel like this one is more closer to like mainstream cologne. So this one wasn't entirely unique. I did like the pineapple note in there though. Overall, this would be a pass for me. My son thought they were okay, and I don't think my husband would like these at all. Now let's get into Phlur Vanilla Canyon because oh my gosh, literally the highlight of my day. The 0.32 ounce is going for $32 and the 1.7 ounce is going for $99. This is in the warm and spicy fragrance family, and the fragrance type is warm and sweet gourmands. As far as the notes, the top notes are velvet plum and tonka beans, the middle notes are jasmine petals and wild honey, and the base is Madagascar vanilla, patchouli, and oak wood. When I tell you this is such a beautiful fragrance, and it is completely unisex, it's not masculine leaning or feminine leaning, it is smack dab in the middle. And I truly cannot say that about a lot of fragrances. I feel like this smells way more expensive than it actually is. So the price point I feel like is very reasonable. I was kind of worried about that oak wood and patchouli mixture in there, but when I tell you that wild honey and that rich, sweet, deep vanilla, oh my gosh, this scent is beautiful. There's something about this scent that if I smelled this on someone, I'd be like, you came from money or something. Honestly, this would make me turn my head if someone walked past me and had this scent on. So I think they did a great job. And when you compare it to Vanilla Skin, I'm glad they put that right next to it because you need to compare. Vanilla Canyon is more sweeter, richer, deeper, and complex than Vanilla Skin. Rare Beauty has come out with a new flanker called Rare Beginnings that I did a review on. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that video. My goodness, ignore me dropping that. But I wanted to show you that they have a duo set, including the original perfume. Remember when I showed you this discovery set and I noticed Plum Tonic in there? Well, Ellis Brooklyn has released the full size to Plum Tonic, so let's get into this review. For the 0.33 fluid ounce, it is going for $33, and the 1.7 fluid ounce is going for $115. This is in the warm and spicy fragrance family, and the fragrance type is warm and sweet gourmands. Let's go over the notes. The top notes are sparkling mandarin, plum nectar, and acai. Middle notes of peony petals, iris flowers, and violet leaf. And the base is amber crystals, cashmere woods, and sugared musks. You see that plum in the top right corner of that display picture? This reminds me a lot of this scent. It's not like if you cut a plum and squeeze the juice out of it. It's more like if you cut a plum open and then wash it and the water is running over the flesh of the fruit. So it has some aquatic vibes to it that I wasn't really expecting, not a full-blown fruit scent. I really wish they would have focused on the plum nectar and the acai because that would have been interesting. But this is definitely a plum floral mixture because once it starts to dry down after that initial aquatic plum scent, I'm picking up a mixture of like maybe white or purple florals in there. And that's what it kind of stays as, like a semi-fruit and floral scent. I don't think it's very sweet or spicy or super warm like it's described in my opinion. I think that this smells like an overpriced Victoria's Secret scent, to be honest. So from what I'm picking up versus the price, I'm not a fan of this. I think there's other Ellis Brooklyn fragrances that I like better than this one. So overall, it's not really unique. I would say that it was a disappointment for me because I really like plum notes in fragrances. But that is it for my review and walkthrough. Let me know which fragrance you are the most excited to try. Thank you for watching, and as always, have fun, stay blessed, and happy shopping.